What does a 69-year-old bodybuilder eat to get back on track for competition and on the stage a year from now? Hi, friends. Janet here. Today, I'm sharing a real look at the foods that I'm eating during my 90-day recomposition plan. I'm right smack dab in the middle of week 3, and I'm excited to show you what's working for me because I'm trying something completely new. So I'm learning. As soon as I'm learning it, I'm going to tell you about it. So meals that are helping me build muscle, burn fat, and most importantly, also feel satisfied. Now, please remember, I'm not giving you a do this, don't do that list for you. I'm all about finding what works for you and leaving what doesn't. So all I can do is, this is what I'm doing. And at best, you'll get some great ideas from it. I don't want you to say in the comments, well, this doesn't work for me. No kidding. We're not the same person, but you might get some wisdom from it. And you can ask a question like, what about this instead of that? So I'm available. I just can't wait to tell you what I've been up to. Let me give you a very quick backstory just to give you some context. So ever since my first competition in 2004, I've followed all kinds of bodybuilding nutrition plans. Usually, I did exactly what my trainers told me, and it worked. They were serious, no-nonsense guys who kept me accountable. It's exactly what I needed then. But this time, I wanted to take a different route. Something different. I wanted to, for the first time, design my own nutrition course. Now, my coach is still here. He is still holding me accountable. You remember Big Matt that's in the previous workout videos? But now he is giving me license to choose what I'm going to eat, track it, and take responsibility. It feels good, like I'm adulting on the nutritional front, and it's both challenging and freeing. So let's just start with breakfast. I have 2 kinds of breakfasts. The first kind is for 4 days a week when I have a luxury of time in the morning, a slow start, no deadline. Anything I have planned is later in the day. So I have time to cook this beautiful giant omelet. But 3 days out of the week, I have to be out the door early. I have to meet up with 6 a.m. clients. And on those mornings, I still need fuel. I still need my protein and my carbohydrates, but not a heavy meal that early. I'm just a tingy hungry, but not ravenous. But if I don't eat something really wholesome, then how in the world am I going to support my clients on their journey and jump into training myself with Big Matt? So on my quick mornings, that's when, instead of the big luxurious omelet that keeps me fed for 5 hours, I need to be fast but accurate. So I get Greek yogurt and berries, maybe a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds on top. I need more protein and some mornings. And so what I do is I'll add a scoop of protein powder in the yogurt, and like a vanilla, some of the flavors really lend themselves well to combining with fruit. Or I just eat the yogurt and the berries and then make the shake. So I take the powder and make a shake and then have it a little bit later. Those are ideal when I'm going to be training with Big Matt because I get a little charge in the morning, got the energy for my people, and then I get another fueling, and then I have the energy for Big Matt. This makes it easy and flexible. So hopefully that's relatable to you, because I know some of you, every morning is the same, Monday through Friday. But then maybe Saturday and Sunday, you have a little more luxury. And and by luxury, I mean time. And so you can do a slower breakfast with more cooking involved, more components, more complexity, where on your faster mornings, you can do a great service to yourself and your goals by making sure you get the protein and the fat and the carbohydrate, but get it in a form that's delicious, but really quick. You see, there were two problems that kept coming up in the past, and I dealt with it. I still did everything, and I still achieved trophying on a stage, and I did a great job. But there were a couple of things that were always kind of needling me under the surface. And I thought, if I could just hold the reins, maybe I could do some things to address those two problems for myself, because I knew that my trainers were guiding me with the expertise and the professional knowledge that they had accumulated. And they certainly had the chops to be able to do that. So I trusted them, and it worked. Here's the thing. The two problems that I ran into, one of them was boredom. And when boredom and food are in the same sentence, that means trouble. So the same foods on repeat: chicken, asparagus, and rice, beef, broccoli, and yams. Okay, still hungry? Eat a hard-boiled egg. It was like not pretty. I did it. I'm not complaining. Past trainers who are listening, but I started dreading mealtime, and I thought it was weird because I was hungry, and yet I was like, oh. So it was a weird middle space there. The second problem I was always having was hunger. Even though I was eating plenty of calories and protein in those boring meals, I never felt completely full, completely satisfied. I wanted to feel like a sea lion lolling on its back on Fisherman's Wharf. Is that too much to ask? But I was always looking forward to the next meal, to the point of distraction, because I was still hungry. There was something that was triggering leptin, or no, not leptin, the other one, ghrelin. Ghrelin is the stomach hormone that makes you still be hungry. So this time I wanted meals that were balanced, satisfying, got me to my goals, and kept me fueled for hours. Is that asking too much? Apparently not, because here's what I'm doing differently. Some details. So first of all, I addressed variety. So I rotate among a list of proteins I love. So I would suggest, if you're trying to craft your own plan, make sure that whatever is on it is not cringe. You want to like it. So, excuse me, thinking about food gets my stomach all excited. I pick from, I'm going to share a list with you of all the different proteins that I like, and you may agree or disagree. So, insert the ones you want, delete the ones you don't want. So, and rotate them. Vegetables. I love all vegetables and legumes except lima beans. I will not eat them. So why not eat a lot of them? Because vegetables are your fiber. They give you a little bit of carbohydrate, water for sure. I think celery and jicama and some of those things that are very watery in nature. And they have lots of phytonutrients and antioxidants. So veggies, get a bigger variety, not just broccoli. And carbs. So sure, potatoes and rice. But I think even though I still like those foods, I had kind of an ick factor around them because of the past. So I'm going this time with squashes, like spaghetti and delicata are two of my favorite. There's others. And also root vegetables. So yams and sweet potatoes. Very full of sugar, but the slow kind. There's fiber in there, and they're slow burning carb. So they're perfect for anybody who is on a plan to lose fat, gain muscle, and be really strong and full of energy. The next thing I looked at was to balance my meals. Protein, fiber, healthy fats. Make sure those are first. And then with whatever calories are left, carbs. So that I prioritize the things that would keep me kind of low glycemic while still giving me the sugar that I needed for the energy to do what I wanted to do. But that way, my blood sugar levels stayed more level. I haven't crashed for 3 weeks now. It's pretty cool. I mean, I feel nice and even tempered. Everybody in my life is grateful. And the third thing is I plan ahead. And honestly, that was the thing that I wasn't as primed for, because when you're cooking the same thing all the time, you can just fix 6, 7, 8 meals, stack them in the fridge, and not think about cooking at all, except heating something up in the microwave or boiling water or something. Everything's real quick. But when you're cooking this way, the way I'm about to share with you, you do have to plan ahead, because sometimes something takes a half an hour. Sometimes preparing the chicken or the ground beef ahead of time takes time, and then you have to have it already done in order to have something be really efficient. So I have to learn, I have learned, I am learning, and I have to learn how to cook in advance so that I'm never caught hungry without food. One of the worst things in this effort is if you come home after a long day, horrible traffic, exhausted, starving, and you haven't started prepping, because what are you going to do? Whatever's handy, My husband's leftover chicken wings, not good. I can't touch those. So preparing ahead is very important. So I'm here to report, I didn't want to talk to you about this until I had done some work, but I have been absolutely compliant and consistent for almost 3 weeks now. I'm at halfway to the end of the 3rd week. So it's long enough where if something wasn't working, I would be a raging lunatic by now. And I wouldn't be recording this video, because why share that? What a concept. I'm full, I'm satisfied, and I'm not bored. So let's review the small suite of dishes that I have been eating for the last couple of weeks. I am sharing the recipes fully and a few variations to make the flavors or textures a little different. And the calories and the macro components, meaning proteins, fats, carbohydrates that you're getting in that particular dish. First one is savory, spicy omelet scramble. High protein, savory, meaning seasoned, and salty a little bit. And it keeps me fueled for hours. I am not hungry until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Remember my goal at the beginning. I want to be a sea lion wallowing on my back on Fisherman's Wharf. And this breakfast fits the bill. But on those mornings when I have to shoot out of the house like I'm being shot out of a cannon, to be at the gym at 6 a.m. to start training my clients, it's the Greek yogurt and berries every time. And if I feel like I need a little extra protein, I'll throw in a scoop of powdered protein mix. And or the other thing you can do, if you don't like that idea, is have the yogurt and berries and then take the powder and make the shake and drink it a little later, like maybe 2 hours or 3 hours later. That together will give you a metric ton of protein, and it will also keep you fueled throughout the morning. And then when lunch comes, you can sit down and have a really satisfying lunch. A couple of dishes that really have sustained me over the last couple of weeks. One of them was brand new to me, and I just fell in love with it. It's the creamy chicken salad, and it has full of protein, but crunch and flavor, and I feel so satisfied. And it makes enough for 3 or 4 servings. You can decide how many calories you want to eat, how much protein you're going to need, and just eat more or less out of the casserole dish. And it can be eaten cold and just left in the fridge, or you can heat up a serving in the microwave, sprinkle a little shredded mozzarella on top, and it's a delicious hot dish as well. And the other is the protein veggie bowl. Really, it's a glorified big salad. All the crunchy vegetables and greens, and two kinds of protein, usually like tuna, cottage cheese, or shrimp. And, so it's like it's got different bits of protein in it so that it is not just vegetables, because that will last you for a little while, especially if it's big because of the fiber. But remember, you've got your protein goals. It's the most important priority in your meals if you want to build muscle and lose fat, is to make sure you get that protein in. That's one of my biggest gripes about restaurant salads, where they'll say, $3 or $5 extra for chicken. And then they give you 3 little tiny strips, which still isn't enough protein. It ticks me off. So my rebellion is making my own and having it be amazing. The big protein veggie bowl is something that's really fun to experiment with. If you're kind of a creative eater and also if you're just wanting to try something new for a change, you can do olives, cucumbers, avocado. Next week, I'm going to try pepperoncini and capers. I think that would be really good for a little extra tang. Also, I'm trying this creamy dill dressing. I haven't had it yet, but I'm buying the ingredients and I'm going to try it. And if it's really good, I will share that recipe in my next nutrition video. So the point is that each recipe is flexible. If you don't do dairy, fine. You don't have to do that. You can swap out tofu or beans, need extra calories or need fewer calories, bump it up or down, cut back on the portions or the amounts, or swap out an ingredient that works out better for you. The point is, don't compromise on protein. You have to hold the line on that one. That's your anchor. Then adjust the fats and the carbohydrates that are in the salad or in any dish to fit your calorie and energy needs. Just for context, here are my daily requirements. I need about 2,400 calories as just to maintain everything I've got on me right now. So to be in the fat loss zone, I aim for about 2,200, just a small 200 calorie deficit. Slow, steady, sustainable. Don't rush. Don't do anything harsh or rash. Be consistent. And believe me, liking your food, that's half the battle, maybe even 3/4. A little funny story with that. I've shared with you before that I had a knee replacement surgery 1.5 years ago. And my daily requirement at that time was half of what I just quoted you. Even then, I still gained fat. I was eating half and I was gaining weight. But that's what muscle loss and being sedentary will do to you. It screws with your head and makes you think, oh, I just keep eating less and less and less. I'll get this. And it's the wrong direction to go. Get moving, get lifting, and eat more. It's crazy. Listen to this. In order to lose fat and gain muscle now, I have to eat more food. Have you ever heard someone tell you to eat more to lose? Probably not. But it's true. I actually have to eat more food, not less. And sure enough, after the first unimpressive couple of days of starting this new regimen, my body was adjusting. Now I've already lost 4 pounds. It didn't hurt one bit. Now, a caveat in that is I don't know what kind of pounds. It could be fat, or it could be muscle, or it could be lost fat, gained muscle. Don't know yet. And I'm not going to measure anything of that nature until the end of the month. I want to give a good 4 weeks, because at the 1 month mark, Big Matt will check my fat mass with the little calipers, and I will share my results with you along with the progress photos and tweaks. I'm making new changes probably for the month of October once I have some data, but all will be revealed. So stay with me. This is the first time I'm trying this approach of, doing my own food, and I'm guinea pigging it right in front of you in real time. So I didn't want to get fat tested and do anything really definitive until I had a nice running head start. I had to be sure that I was going to stick to what I'm telling you about now. And I'm telling you, I am. Now, your numbers, your total calories and your macros may be different, but the principle is the same. Find your daily requirement, then create a small 100 to 200 calorie deficit. Too steep and your body fights back. Don't play games. You have to be conservative and consistent. If you do go too steep, what will happen is your body will you'll feel fatigue. You'll be out of sorts emotionally. Then you'll be hungry. And finally, your body will shift into survivor mode. And survivor mode to your body is hold on to fat. That's not what you want. But with a small deficit, you lose fat and protect the muscle, and your body doesn't panic. It hardly notices it. Here's a metaphor for this concept of not going too deep into your calorie deficit. 100 to 200 calories, so your body won't notice much is missing. You know, when I was little, my parents were very ahead of the curve on keeping guardrails around the sugary treats. And yet, we did have a cookie jar on the counter, and it was a big ceramic apple with a little lid with a stem on top. You know what I figured out when I was 7 years old? If you tiptoe into the kitchen and you very quietly lift the lid off so it didn't clink, and you reach in, only take 4 cookies, just 4, no more. And then before you put the lid on, you reach in and you fluff the cookies and then put the lid back. They never found out. If I had taken 10 cookies or 20 cookies, they would have noticed right away. So if you don't want to get a slap on your hand from your body and go into starvation mode, you'd better give it exactly what it thinks it's getting and then sneak 100 or 200 calories off the plate a day. And your body isn't going to panic. That's the secret. Remember the cookie jar. Your body's the cookie jar. So that's a look at how I'm fueling myself in this 90-day plan. When I hit the 1-month marker, I'll update you with my progress, my tweaks, my thoughts, any swerves that I need to make. And I'm going to keep on getting new recipes between now and the end of the month. So I will share those with you too, if they are worth sharing. And I am so excited about what's going to come next. I'm building my repertoire in real time, and I'm excited to share that with you. Your takeaway: it is completely possible for food to be satisfying, flavorful, and still move you toward your goals. Find a balance that works for you and stick with it. After all this, I'm sure you have questions. That's what the comment section is for. And you know by now, I read those comments and I respond. So, brave heroes, thanks for watching. And I will see you in the next video.